it has been 7 months since I last uploaded to my channel. And a lot of that's my fault because I kind of gave up. I saw no growth and I saw I wasn't getting as much out of this as I wanted to. So it was on me and that I gave up on that. But at the same time, life changed a bit. There was a couple developments that I made in my personal life outside of this that kind of took up the time when I had been streaming and creating YouTube videos. So I chose to prioritize that over making content. And while that's a decision I made, I have decided now, with quarantine being somewhat reinstated and realizing that I can definitely manage a reduced schedule but still putting out content, I have decided to return to making content, whether that's Twitch streaming or producing YouTube videos like this one. So what that means, I don't really know. We'll see where it goes. But I just wanted to get a little something out of the way and say thank you to anyone who comes on and watches this. It's been a while, but hopefully I'm back for good now. And I am ready to start making content again. So I'm excited to see what this comes. I'm going to change up what I do. I've been playing different games. I've been doing different trying new things. So I'm excited to see what I come up with in terms of content. I'm going to get away from the Let's Play stuff, I think, and I'm not going to just post highlight montages because I'm not anywhere near good enough to be able to just post that. I'm not a professional Valorant player, I'm not a professional CS player, and that means that I don't get to post stuff like that because no one wants to watch a random Gold Nova or Silver Elite or Platinum player post their montages of them getting 3Ks against people who are also not at the highest level. So instead, what I will be doing is reaction videos, discussion videos, which I did before, and people seem to like those, so I will do those. I just have to find things to discuss, and maybe more like vlog style content where I'm just talking, like just me and you, and I'm discussing things in the world or things in gaming, mostly gaming, things in gaming or things in my own life, and I just talk for like 5-10 minutes. So that's just some ideas. But anyways, now that the idea of what I'm talking about is out of the way, and my announcement of I'm back is over with, I want to show you guys a video where we are going to react to my early videos of Valorant. And by early videos, I mean my tips and tricks I made back at the beginning of all of this. So, who's ready to get into that? Okay, so to start off with this one, this is my 3 tips for winning gunfights and an insane new angle that is in Valorant. And there is some stuff, I'm warning you, there is some stuff that I say that is very incorrect, and I have grown beyond this. So please do not annihilate me for what I say in this video, because a lot of it is no longer true, and a lot of it I no longer agree with. So there's no reason to witch hunt me because of some stuff I said 7 months ago. So I'm sorry, because rewatching this, I realized that I was an idiot, and I did not deserve to be in plat in the beta. So anywho, without further ado, let's get started. A cool new angle on the map split, so something you can't see, but down below my camera, I'm hiding it for a reason. It's disgusting how bad my old camera used to be. Anyway, here's the video. Angle, just to get you guys started off. So when you're attacking, a lot of problems come from. All right, first of all, can we discuss my crosshair before I get into even the actual content? That crosshair is nasty. It's so big. It's bright blue, and I distinctly remember picking it because I went in and I saw Shroud playing with a the light blue crosshair, and I just decided I want to be like Shroud, so I picked a crosshair like it, and that is gross because that is nothing like Shroud's crosshair, and it's just like this giant thing that makes it so hard to aim at people. And if you watch my Twitch clips from back then, it's nasty how bad I aim at people. Like I just like aim at them, and instead of aiming at their head, I aim like right here, and then I just like move my crosshair around until it kills them. And it's so bad. And so here we go. We can skip ahead a little bit. So we get over here, and I talk about how this insane new angle comes up. And then from the stand top of the wall, you can look, and you can actually see. Is it a valid angle? Yeah, it's a pretty valid angle. I like the angle. It's not insane. I mean, it's very situational, and you can just as easily smoke that and have the same result because the chances of you hitting that shot are like 1 in 10, and even when you do hit it, it's never going to work again. So you end up just wasting a wall one round because you walled up, and then you got one, and the second time you use the wall, they don't peek it. So we're gonna skip past this where I say to buy a Marshall Vandal instead of buying an AWP, which is the better gun for that because I don't know why you would ever play that angle of the Vandal, but that's just me. All right, let's get over here to watching my three tips. All right, okay, so to get started here, I agree with this one. I entirely agree with this tip still. It just says stand still. It's not a bad tip. I mean, you can see me do it here as I play my audio over behind me. You're going to watch me strafe and shoot, and I will explain. See? This is still very accurate. If you're moving, you're significantly worse, unless, as people are complaining about in the community right now, at close range with the Phantom, running and gunning is actually very doable, and it's a lot of people at higher elo are complaining about it because they fear that it makes it too COD-like and not enough like a tactical shooter. So, slight adjustment to this, but mostly this still holds true. Let's go to tip number 2. Here we are. This is tip number 2. Okay, I agree with that still. I agree with that still. Unless you're sniping, you should not be ADSing. However, I have a change. Just listen. Alright, so I'm going to stop it right there because this is not true. That, in all honesty, is probably the most effective way to use any of those guns that turns to burst fire. At close range, the Stinger, because people are complaining that the Stinger actually needs a nerf right now, because the Stinger at close range is a very viable kill because of how fast it shoots and headshots do 80 damage. The distance, though, you have to ADS because the spray goes from like this to like this. Sorry, not the spray, the spread. The spread goes from here to here. And this wide of a spread means you can hit people from long ranges, and as long as you hit headshots with 1 or 2 per burst, you can kill people at extremely far distances with SMGs. Not all that with not all that much difficulty. And Bulldog is the same way because I feel like the only way to compete at range is to ADS because you need that accuracy. You need to get 4 bullets off very closely in order to kill people because like the double headshot mechanic you can get with a Bulldog ADSing is something that balances it out and makes it viable fighting against people who have Vandals and Phantoms and Ops. While it's still worse, the burst is very necessary. So I do think that from the beta, I don't know if anything's actually changed, but the meta has developed in such a way that buying a Stinger and buying a Bulldog and ADSing is actually just as viable as playing with a Phantom and Vandal and not ADSing. So I want to make that adjustment. But besides that, tip number 2, we're staying pretty solid. Okay, so this final tip, spoiler alert, I watched ahead and it's rope accuracy. It says use the ropes as much as you possibly can. This is still true because the ropes make so many shots. I feel like there needs to be a larger penalty, and it frustrates me every single time I get killed by someone on a rope. But when I play, it drives me nuts how often people will come up the rope and just head glitch it. So all I can see is their head, and I just get domed. They miss like 1 shot, and the second bullet's a headshot. And with a Vandal or Phantom at that close range, it's an insta kill. And I don't feel like I always have a chance. I mean, granted, I don't think it's unfair or broken. But I do agree that this is still very usable. I also just don't think it's really that much of a tip because it's only usable on, at this point it was usable on 1 map and now 2 with Icebox. And even on Icebox, it's not anywhere near as viable. Like, it's not like this map where main rotations and common use spots are connected by ropes. It's literally, Icebox has like 2 pillars you can climb up with a rope. But besides that, I don't think, yeah, I think it's just the 2. There's 1 on each site that you can just go up into like a small room. Sorry, I think there's 3. I think there's 3. Take that back, there's 3. There's 2 on A and 1 on B. But This is not exactly an influential tip, and I probably should have come up with something more, or just said 2 tips to winning a gunfight in an insane angle, instead of making this, which is just kind of filler content, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm disappointed in myself for that one. And you still can't see my camera, but it's still driving me nuts at how ugly this camera was. And my hair was just not cool back then. If I had better lighting, you could see this wonderful mop now, but it's just not quite living up to the hype. Back then, at least. My overlay was trash. I'm gonna be honest. It was a dark time in my content creation history, so we can just ignore that. All right. So as I make my wonderful return to full screen, that's my video. That was one of the first Valorant videos I ever put out, and the production quality was a bit lacking back then. I'm gonna be honest, and I feel like I could do a lot better. I still feel like even this video could be better, but it's my first one back. I'm a little rusty. Give me a break. And some of that stuff hasn't aged well, and I want to do a video where I go back and watch my highlights from back in the beta because I have watched a few videos since then of me playing that, and it's rough. I aim at like knee height and get kills because no one knows how to play. Even in plat, I could aim at their like thighs, and then I would just run around and get kills. Like I have like 1v4 ace I have, and I don't think I aim at head height a single time, even though it's a save round and I have a Spectre. Maybe, maybe it's just me. Excuse me. But I really want to go revisit that stuff because there is a certain quality of content waiting to be made there, and I feel like I'm truly missing out by not reacting to how trash I used to be at games like CS and Valorant. So that's probably what the next one's going to be, I'm going to be honest. And then after that, I want to jump into more bite-sized content. This video is going to be long, like maybe almost 20 minutes, and I don't want to do that anymore because that's way too long to watch, especially for modern Americans. That's me. And I think 5 minute videos, 6 minute, 7 minute videos max will be ideal. I can just talk, I can discuss things, I can give my opinions. Why should you care? I don't know, but clearly, if you're here, you do a little bit. So, thank you for that. And with that, I think I'm going to say see you next time. So, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, subscribe. There's going to be more coming in the future. I promise. It won't be as often as it used to be. It won't be 3, 4 times a week. It might be twice a week, might be once a week, but it will be coming and the content will be there. And I promise the production quality will increase. I got a new camera. We're at 1080p now, not 480p. It's also at 30 FPS instead of like 12. It's better. Everything's improved. So if you're here, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you in the next video.